way that I've found, I use some of, but not enough. I didn't take this part seriously enough. Scholarships. This is the most efficient use of time generating income. There are very, very few scholarships after your freshman year. Get them while you're a senior in high school. Get them your freshman year of college. There are so many scholarships. There are merit-based scholarships. These are going to be your test scores, your grades. There are need or financial-based scholarships. There are athletic scholarships, career-specific scholarships, group identification or affiliation scholarships. These could be because of the state you live in, your religion, could be a hometown thing. A lot of Chamber of Commerce or school board, they give out scholarships. And the cool thing about scholarships is they do not need to be repaid. Unlike some other forms we're going to talk about, scholarships are pretty sweet. Don't need to give them back. So back to the merit base, this is where your high school grades actually matter. So not only do you get money for your GPA, but you'll get arguably more money for your ACT or SAT scores. They are significantly higher weighted, which makes no sense to me because the ACT and SAT, they score a very narrow range of topics. And it's 4 hours on a Saturday, and that is weighed heavier than your GPA, which is over 4+ years of high school, depending on if you took some courses in 8th grade. So I don't understand how we weigh this 4 hours on a Saturday more than our GPA, which shows long-term academic work. But hey, I'm not the one who hands these out. So just know that take your ACT, SAT very seriously. That's where the big money's at. Grants. These are usually federal, and they are based on financial need. Federal grants influence college attendance. You can apply for any that you qualify for. Like scholarships, grants do not need to be repaid. Another approach to paying for college that I took advantage of and would have taken more advantage of if I would have known how sweet it was are AP and CLEP credits. Anything that is a paid for credit in high school that you receive some sort of credit for in college. AP credits, for example, otherwise known as advanced placement credits, are where you take an AP course in high school. This is followed by an AP test to ensure competency. Generally, you have to score a 3 out of 5. They have their own grading scale. And the cost is $95 per exam. This will cover 3 credits. These AP credits are good for 5 years. So if you don't go to school right away, not a problem. CLEP, otherwise known as College Level Examination Program, works pretty similarly. They offer 34 exams and all kinds of common subjects. The cost is similar, $89 per exam, generally 3 credits. After you pass-fail these, it's listed as CR for credit. Sometimes the AP are actually translated into a grade, where the CLEP credits typically do not affect your GPA, and it's sort of like a pass-fail. But the cool thing about the CLEP is they're generally a little easier to pass. The cost is the same. And this is a great way to fill your elective courses because $89 per exam for 3 credits is way, way cheaper than what you're going to pay to college. So if you took a couple years of Spanish or French or German or whatever, or theology or anything like that, that would count as elective credits, CLEP or AP, great place to go for those. And not to overlook the primary way I paid for college is to get a job. Just by working 20 hours per week, it's been shown that students have better grades and time management. You can do stuff working for the college, such as a resident assistant or RA, sometimes a CA. This is generally a very small salary, but they include room and board, which can be a couple thousand a semester. Other things that you can do would be employee tuition reimbursement. You could work for a company that pays some of your tuition annually. Examples would be FedEx. They pay $2,500 annually. Home Depot, $1,500 annually. Verizon, they pay a whopping $4,000 annually. There's a whole list of companies, other ones, UPS, Starbucks. You can check online. Sometimes your parent's employer will even offer tuition assistance for you as a child. Pretty sweet. Might as well look into it. Again, that's a pretty big chunk annually. You generally have to work for these companies a few hours a week or part-time when you're going to school, but it's still well worth it if you consider a couple $1,000 a year as a bonus towards your education. So let's run an example. $80,000 to graduate debt-free. That's considering a $20,000 annual cost. It's close enough. It's on the lower end. You're going to a state school. So this is essentially how I did it at $10 an hour. Nowadays, wages are probably a little closer to $12 an hour, so that's what I use, and it'll give you a little gravy on the side. If you have a high school summer job at $12 an hour, and you work 40-hour weeks, so freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and let's say you work 4 months over the summer, that gives you $8,000 a year and $32,000 over 4 years. So if you're working full-time in high school, that's what you can make, $32,000. And let's just say when you're in college, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you're working at that same job, same $12 an hour, same 40-hour weeks. And if you work that all the way through 4 months per year, your summer's going to be a little longer during college, but you'll make another $8,000 per year or $32,000 over the course of your high school. So just by working summers, you can make about $65,000 over the 8 years from the time you're a freshman in high school to the time you graduate 4 years of college. Now let's step that up a notch. Let's say you take some of the advice from earlier and you work just a little bit during the week when you're at college, only at college, not in high school. We got sports, we have other things to do. But let's say you take a couple hours, 15 hours a week at the same $12 per hour job. And you do that for the other 8 months during the year. So you're working 4 months a year full time, 8 months a year, 15 hours per week. And those 8 months during the school year are going to get you about $6,000, which comes out to $24,000 over your college career. So we have $32,000 during high school, $32,000 during college summers, and $24,000 during college school year. That comes out to $90,000. Now keep in mind, this excludes taxes, overtime, pay increases. So with that, I upped my hours significantly above 40 hours per week, but I also wasn't making $12 an hour. I chose not only a construction day job that I work Monday through Friday, but I also had a job that I work on the weekends, generally Friday nights, Saturday, Sundays, and that was pretty good. That kept me busy all summer long. So I was able to pull out a little more than what this example has, but it just goes to show you can make some pretty good money if you don't spend it on things, because college is your ultimate goal and that's what you save for. Can be done. Does it mean you don't get to have a lot of fun? Yeah, kinda. But it all depends on what's important to you. Having fun during high school, during college, or having fun afterwards and not being up to your eyeballs in debt. If you're not really into working, didn't qualify for a ton of scholarships, or even if you did qualify for a bunch of scholarships, the military is always a good option for paying for school. You have military academies, West Point, Annapolis, Colorado Springs, New London, Kings Point, all that good stuff. These places have mandatory service following graduation. So not only do you get school paid for, you're guaranteed a job. Good for you. You could also do an ROTC, Reserve Officers Training Corps, and this lets you start some of your service when you're in college. It's a pretty structured program. They kind of guide you on what courses to take, but it's another great option to pay for school. And ultimately, there's the GI Bill, and the rates of reimbursement are based on your service. This includes full-time and reserves. It varies quite a bit based on how much service time you have in and full-time or reserve. So you'll have to check in with some of your recruiters. They'll know about the GI Bill. Great option. You can get up to like $10,000 a semester. Pretty big money if you put your time in.